The first sign wasn't the invitation, it was the photos. Balloons in pastel colors, a cake shaped like something animated and cheerful, my niece grinning with the kind of unfiltered happiness that makes adults soften without realizing it. The images rolled across my phone while I sat at my kitchen counter, coffee cooling beside me. No message, no mention, just the quiet announcement of an event I hadn't known existed. I stared longer than I should have. Not shocked exactly, more confirmed. Absence has a way of feeling familiar when it repeats often enough. I called my father, because that's what I always did, reached upward as if clarity still lived there. "Oh," he said when I asked. No hesitation, no apology, just a small sound acknowledging inconvenience. "Well, you're not really family for things like that." The sentence landed strangely, like it had been rehearsed long ago and simply retrieved. "I'm her uncle." "You're a wallet," he replied, voice steady, almost tired. Let's not pretend otherwise. Somewhere in the background I heard television noise, louder from a sitcom audience reacting to something designed to be funny. My brother's voice appeared next, close to the receiver. "You're too bitter to be around kids anyway." The words weren't sharp, that would have required emotion. They were flat, administrative, as if they were describing weather conditions rather than a person. I said nothing for a moment, then something automatic, polite. "Okay." No argument, no defense. There's a peculiar exhaustion that comes from explaining your humanity to people committed to misunderstanding it. After the call, the apartment felt unusually quiet, though nothing had changed. The same refrigerator hum, the same traffic filtering faintly through the windows. I opened my banking app, not with anger, but with a kind of clinical curiosity. Monthly transfers lined up neatly like small, silent agreements. School expenses, utilities, car payments, streaming subscriptions, bundled into packages no one ever discussed but everyone used. Each entry represented something that had gradually shifted from help to expectation, from generosity to infrastructure. I studied the numbers the way you study a contract you suddenly realize you never consciously signed. My thumb hovered, not dramatically, just suspended between habit and recognition. Canceling the transfer doesn't feel like rebellion. It feels like adjusting a setting, a muted, almost anticlimactic action. Click, confirm, click, confirm. No surge of satisfaction followed, only a subtle lightness, like releasing tension you hadn't noticed holding. Over the next hour, I moved through digital dashboards and account panels, performing small acts of administrative withdrawal, streaming services, shared access permissions, auto-pay structures. It all felt strangely impersonal, which I realized mirrored the relationships themselves. No speeches, no declarations, just quiet revisions. The party continued without me. I knew this not because anyone told me, but because my niece's mother posted another photo, children clustered around the cake, adults leaning inward with practiced smiles. Everything looked warm, functional, intact. For a moment, doubt flickered. Maybe my father was right. Maybe presents had always been optional. 2 days later, my phone rang. My brother. His name on the screen carried none of its former emotional charge, just information. "Did you change something with the car payment?" His tone wasn't accusatory. It was confused, threaded with the faint anxiety of disrupted routine. I adjusted my accounts. "What does that mean?" "It means I'm no longer financing things I'm not part of." A pause, then a strained laugh. "Come on, don't be dramatic." Dramatic? An interesting word for the absence of money. Before I could respond, another sound intruded. Muffled voices, movement, something happening beyond the conversation. "What's going on?" I asked. "Nothing," he said quickly, but voices grew clearer. A knock, then another, not hesitant, procedural. Through the receiver, I heard a new voice, neutral, professional, unmistakably external. "Sir, we're here regarding the vehicle." Silence expanded. "What?" my brother said, the word cracking slightly. "The account is in default. There has to be a mistake." "No mistake, sir." Authority never raises its voice. It doesn't need to. Contracts speak fluently on its behalf. I leaned back against my kitchen chair, eyes drifting toward the window, as if the scene might somehow be visible from miles away. In my mind, I could picture the driveway, half-deflated balloons still tied to the mailbox, sidewalk chalk ghosts fading on concrete. My niece likely inside, unaware of financial structures collapsing quietly at the edge of her world. "Can you fix this?" my brother asked finally. The question arrived stripped of earlier confidence. No sarcasm, no dismissal, just need. And beneath it, something harder to define. Recognition. I considered the ceiling, tracing a faint crack in the paint. "I didn't break anything," I said evenly. "I just stopped holding it together." Another long pause, this one heavier.
Not anger, not apology, just the uncomfortable presence of reality settling into spaces once filled by assumption. After the call ended, the apartment returned to its usual silence, but it felt different now. Not lonelier, simply accurate. Somewhere a car was being loaded onto a truck by people with clipboards and schedules, executing obligations that existed long before emotions entered the picture. And for the first time in years, I wasn't part of the system absorbing the impact. No triumph followed, only a strained, steady calm.